Yeah, you're welcome back to this channel. If you haven't subscribed, I would like you to subscribe and please don't stop liking. Today we'll be looking at statistics, and we'll be looking at the group data in statistics. We'll be looking at how to get the mean, the median, and the mode of group data. So let's move. Assuming this is the class interval of a certain class in a certain school, and this is the frequency we generated for this class. So we have to look for the mean, the median, and the mode. So what is the formula for the mean of group data, the formula for the median of group data, and the formula for mode of group data? It is still the same. We have it as summation fx over what? Over summation f. And for the median, which is denoted as m, we have it as L1 plus N over 2 plus summation F1 over FMC, which is the frequency of the middle class. This FMC means the frequency of the middle class. Frequency of the middle class. So, to the median now, we have it as to the mode, we have it as MO, which is L1 plus, open your brackets, change in 1 over what? Change 1 plus the second change. You understand? Divided by what? No. Times what? C, which is the class interval. So you can also call this the first change as you can call it the 1 over the 1 plus the 2. I hope you get that. So these are the formulas we'll be making use of. But let me just give you the full meaning of all these formula. Summation fx, that is the addition. Summation fx, addition of fx, like all the data present in your fx column, in which you are going to create very soon, over summation f, which is your frequency. So it is the addition of all number present in the frequency box. All are number present in the frequency box. So next to it is this L1, and L1 denotes lower frequency, lower class boundary. Don't worry, we'll be treating that very soon once we get to the once we are doing our calculations. So next to it is the change, which is the D1, and that is your class model minus the upper class boundary. The D2, that's your class model frequency minus your lower class. So let's move to the calculation. So for you to get your fx now, for you to get your fx, we need to create a column for fx in which we'll be calculating now. So, and for you to get your fx, you need to multiply your frequency with something. But remember, adibin, this is not in interval. Adibin, we do not have this class whatever in the intervals. Adibin is just one single number, 1 2 3 4 5, just to multiply straight away. But since there is interval here, so you need to just do some kind of calculation to get your midpoint data. I hope you get that. So the first thing I want you to know is what is the interval between these two numbers. Between 2 and 5, we are having 3. That is, our class interval here is what? 3. 3 divided by 2. Let me put it this way. Between 2 and 5. We have 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 1, 2, 3. So 3 is definitely our what? Our interval. So take out the 3 and divide it by 2. That gives you what? 1.5. So this 1.5, what you have to do is add it the first frequency to the lower frequency, which is 2. Definitely you'll be having what? 2 plus what? 1.5, making what? 3.5. I hope you get that. So just have this as your what? Midpoint. I hope you get that. So, and it's representing x. 2 plus 1.5 is what? 3.5. I hope you get that. Add the 1.5 again to this 6. That gives you what? 7.5. Add it to this one. That gives you what? 11.5. To this 15.5. To this 19.5. And to this 23.5. And if you are not convenient with this formula, you can simply do it this way. Add these two frequencies, the lower one at the lower and the higher, you understand? So you have it 2 plus 5 divided by 2, which is what? The 7 divided by 2, which is what? 3.5. I hope you get that. So you see, we have it this way. So if you're adding up 6 plus 9, if you're adding up 6 and 9 as well, when you divide it by 2, this is 15 divided by 2 equals to what? 7.5. Hence we get the same thing. So you can make use of any method you really prefer. I hope you get that. So now I said summation fx, and this illustrated that you have to multiply your frequency and your x data. So to get this, to get your fx, you need to multiply f and x. So you are multiplying this with this, this with this, this with this, this with this, until you finish. So 6 times 3.5, if you calculate that, you have 21. 3 multiplied by 7.5, you have 22.5. 4 multiplied by 11.5, you have 46. 9 multiplied by 15.5, that's 139.5. When you multiply 2 and 19.5, you have 39. And when you multiply 3 and 23.5, you have 70.5. I hope you get that. So for you now to work out your mean, which is summation fx over what? Summation f. That means you have to sum up your fx. You find the sum of all these numbers. I hope you get that. Then you find the sum of what? Those frequency as well. So if you add up all this number, you have 338.5. I hope you get that. So if you add up this, you'll be having 27. So to get your mean now, which is summation fx over what? Summation fx over summation f, you'll be having 338.5 divided by what? 27. I hope you get that. So if you punch your calculator, you'll be having something like 12.53703703. I hope you understand that. But if you are asked to leave your answer in 2 decimal places, you understand, that is when you approximate. But if you are still going to use this for further equation or for further question, I would advise you leave this like this, so you won't be far from your what? Answer. I hope you get that. But let's assume we are leaving our answer in 2 decimal places. You know, from the last video I explained how to leave your number, how to like round up number in 2 decimal places and the likes. So here you'll be having 2.54 because you'll be rounding up this to 1. Then you add it to this, making 4. I hope you get that. So that is how to get the mean for this. So let's quickly move to the median. You know, from the last video, I explained that when you're talking about median, you're talking about the number that falls in the middle. So the number that falls in the middle. Here these numbers are not arranged, and I said in my last video that if you are looking for median in an ungrouped data, you rearrange your data. I hope you remember. So you rearrange your data. Right here our data are grouped, so we can't rearrange. But one thing we can get, the only way we can use to get our median here is to follow the frequency table. I hope you are getting me. Now the total the summation of our frequency data is what? 27. That is our summation F, which is 27. For us to know the median, you understand? So we have to write down the total number of the frequency. You know, the total number is 27. We have our frequency as 27. The summation F is what? 27. Then you divide it by 2. So the division of this is what? 13.5. That means after the counting of 13, you will have your what? You will have your median. I hope you get that. You have your median. So you remember the last class I gave you 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then let me just assume. Then I told you this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When you divide 7 by 2, you have 3.5. So count out these 3 at first. 1, 2, 3. So the 5 here falls in the middle here. I hope you get, which makes 4 your what? Your median. Your median. I hope you get that. So right here we are having 13.5. That means after the count of 13, we have our what? Our median. I hope you get that. So here, how do you get a median? You know, everything is grouped. So let's just go for an accumulation of the data. So let's accumulate our data. Accumulated frequency. Accumulated frequency. So this is 6. You write your 6 down. 6 plus 3 is what? That's 9. 9 plus 3, we have 13. 13 plus 9, we have 22. 22 plus 2, we have 24. And 24 plus 3, we have 27. I hope you are getting that. So for you to know, since our median falls at 13.5, that's 27 divided by 2 gives us 13.5. That means our median will be definitely after 13. You understand? So if 13 is this row, then our median will fall to this row. So let's start the area. I hope you get that. So if you are still calculating, if you come here, if you calculate right here, you have, this is 3. 3 plus 2 is what? 5. 5 plus 9, that makes it 14. Do you get? So can you see that this place is more than what it ought to be? Definitely the one that is missing, that ought to be our median, falls in this what? Class. I hope you get that. So for us to now get that, let's follow our median now, our formula. So right here in the formula we have L1, which I said it is the lower class boundary. L1, the lower class boundary. And for you to get the lower class boundary, you subtract 0.5 from the lower class boundary here and add 0.5 to the higher one here. I hope you get that. This is the lower and this is the higher. So you subtract 0.5 from 2. Then you add that 0.5 to 5. I hope you are getting that. I hope you are getting that. So let's try that out. We have 2 and 5. When you subtract 0.5 from this, and you add 0.5 to this, you'll be having what? 1.5 to what? 5.5. I hope you get that. So the next to it is 6 to 9. So when you subtract 0.5 from this, you have what? 5.5. Then here you have what? 9.5. I hope you get that. So let's create a frequency for that. Yeah, can you say? So another method you can make use of is, after getting your upper class boundary as 5.5, you can just bring it down here. You understand? Then add 0.5 to the upper class boundary here, making what? 9.5. So the next one you will do, you bring down your 9.5. The next upper class boundary here is 13. Then you add 0.5, that's 13.5. You still bring this 13.5 down. Then you add 0.5 to the, you understand, upper class boundary, which is 17. That makes it 17.5 till you finish it up. 21.5, 21.5 to what? 25.5. I hope you get that. So we are still doing the same thing. That you can continue, you can keep using the first method we used, then you can make use of this method as well. Since we've gotten a lower class boundary for this, now the median, when we are treating median, we'll be making use of everything that falls in this boundary. This is all that concerns us when we are making use of the median. This is where our median falls in. I hope you get. This is where our median, this is where it falls. So right here, we'll be looking at the lower what? The lower class boundary for the median. The lower class boundary is what? 13.5. Based on the calculation we did just now, we had what? 13.5. So following our formula now, which is L1 plus N over 2 plus summation F1 divided by the frequency of the middle class. I hope you are with me. So our L1 from this table is what? 13.5. A lower class boundary. L1, it's 13 what? 13.5. N in any let me say statistical data simply means number. I hope you get that. The number of the frequency. You understand? So and number of the frequency here is what? 27. I hope you get that. We're having 27 here as the number of our frequency. That makes it plus 27. Then you divide it by 2 plus summation F1. Summation F1. And the F1 simply denotes the summation of the frequency before the median frequency. And the summation of everything before this is what? 13. Can you see? The summation of 6, 3, and 4 is what? 13. So you have your 13 down here. Then over what? The frequency of the middle class. What is the frequency of the middle class? That is 9. I hope you get that. The frequency of the middle class is 9. So then you have it this way. Then multiplied by C. Yeah. Then we should all this multiplied by C. It's like this C was omitted here. So you multiply this upper part by C. I hope you get that. So the C here, the C simply means the class interval. Do you remember the class interval? And I said the other time that the C, the C is the class size. You are having 2 to 5. So write it down. We have 2, 3, 4, 5. So this makes it what? 4 numbers. I hope you get that. So from 2 to 5, you're having 4 numbers there. So you are multiplying the 4 to this, to your equation here. I hope you get that. So the next thing you have to do is to just sum and you divide this, then you sum it up, then you multiply it through. So let's wait for the final answer. So we arrived at 13.7. I hope you get that. And there's something here that I would just like to correct. This is minus. Then you have this, you multiply it by C. I hope you get that. I'm really very sorry for that. So let's move on to the mode. So we have the mode and the formula for the mode. So don't worry, this time around I won't make mistake. So we're having what? L1 plus the 1 divided by the 1 plus the 2. Then you multiply it by what? C. I hope you are getting it. So this L1, just the way we've done before, is the lower interval, the lower frequency, the lower class boundary. I hope you get that. And this the one. This the one is what? The modal frequency minus the upper frequency. What is our lower frequency? What is our modal frequency here? Our modal frequency is 9. You understand? Our modal frequency is 9. Before I continue, let me just tell you this. When you're talking about mode, you are talking about the number that occurs the most. So the highest number here is what? It is 9. Don't forget, though it fell at the middle too when we are looking for what our median, but it is still what our modal frequency, because this is the highest number here. You can have a situation whereby this will be your median, the middle class frequency, and your modal frequency will be at the top. Might be maybe assuming you're having 9 here and you have something like 15 here. So your modal frequency and your middle frequency does not necessarily mean that maybe they are on the same, you understand, on the same frequency line. You understand that? So your modal frequency can fall at the down here and it can fall at the upper part here. So but the modal frequency from the look of thing here is 9, because 9 is the highest number here, and that is why we are making use of 9 minus the upper frequency. What is the frequency that is above that 9? The one on top of it. The one on top of it is what? It is 4. So you are minusing this. You are having 9 minus 4. And the D2 is what? The modal frequency minus what? The lower frequency. The lower frequency here is what? 2. I hope you are getting the one next to it. It is 2. So you're having it as 9 minus 2. So let's insert it to our formula. Our lower frequency here is what? The lower class boundary is what? 13.5. Don't forget. So you're having it as 13.5 plus your D1 here is 9 over minus 4. Then you have your D1, which is 9 minus 4 plus 9 minus 2. Then you multiply it by what? Your C, which is what? 4. Here you're having something like, you're having what? Here you're having something like 5 divided by what? 9 minus 4 is what? 5. Plus 9 minus 2 is what? That's 7. That's 5 over 12. I hope you are getting that. Then you multiply it by your 4. I hope you are getting that. So your 5 times 4 is what? That's 20. 20 divided by 20. So 20 divided by 12 is what? This is 9 minus 4. This is 5. 9 minus this is 7. So 20 divided by 12 is what? So we have 1.67. Don't forget we have 13.5 here that we are working together with. So that makes it 13.5 plus this 1.67 plus 1.67, you'll be having 15.17. So if you might leave it this way, then if you feel like rounding it up to 1 decimal place, you'll be having 15.2. Yeah. So I hope you understand this, and please, if there's any question, don't forget to add it to the comment space down. So this brings us to the end of the main median mode of group data. So see you next time. Thank you.